Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. I know you guys are vertical today. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't want to clean up my recording space, like my typical background, because it's a wreck and I just can't be bothered. It's like 10 p.m. So we're gonna tell the spooky story and I'm gonna do it from the comfort of the lighted area right here. So today I want to get into the very true story that inspired the film A Haunting in Connecticut. This is one of the only movies that I watched as a child that actually horrified me. I remember this one scene from the movie. Let's see if you guys remember what I'm talking about. The oldest son is laying in bed and a hand just comes down at his face. Do you guys remember that? I couldn't sleep on my back my entire childhood. Now I can't because I get sleep paralysis. But as a child, it was because of that scene, because I was convinced a hand was going to come down and take me out of my bed. I don't know. So the film follows a family who move houses to get closer to the hospital because their oldest son actually has cancer and they don't want to have to drive a long distance for his treatments. They move into a house that used to be a funeral home, and it does not take long for things to become terrifying in their home. And everyone is affected by the spirits, but it seems like the sick son gets it the worst. So let's take a look at the true story and see how accurate the movie stayed to the story. So the story takes place in 1986, and it does start off with the family looking for a house to be close to the University of Connecticut. So they end up finding a dream come true house. It has several bedrooms, plenty to house the entire family, and it's a really good deal to rent. So they jump on that, sign the papers immediately, and start moving in. So as they're moving in all of their bags and boxes, they start to make some pretty terrifying discoveries. They find in the basement some mortuary tools, some toe tags, and some pictures of deceased people. The mom starts looking into it and finds out that they are in fact living in a funeral home, and that was not disclosed to her whenever they moved into the house. And she didn't even get to tour the basement because they were making renovations to the home and the basement door was blocked off, so they had no idea. This didn't bother two of the sons at all, and they actually decided that they were going to make the basement their own living space. So they ended up sleeping in what was the casket viewing room, just a little bit down the hallway from the embalming room. Now, the paranormal activity for most of the family would start off slow with seeing shadow figures and things like that, but for the oldest son, it started pretty soon after they moved in. He would start seeing a man with long black hair that would sometimes just stand and stare at him, but sometimes would say some pretty dark stuff. The mom claimed that sometimes the mop water would turn to blood red, and she was concerned about it staining her floors because of how potent the color was. Members of the family also claimed to have been assaulted by the entities that they couldn't see. The oldest son seemed to be the main target of all of this and started to suffer a complete personality change. He would become angry, violent, and really not himself. And this would keep going until its peak when he actually really injured his cousin. This made him be institutionalized for 45 days. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and told that his cancer medication would not cause hallucinations, but whenever he got out of the institution, he went to live with another family member for a while just to make sure everyone was safe. The family contacted not only a priest, but Ed and Lorraine Warren to see what they could do about the home, and they actually moved out around a year later. Many people believe that this story was not true. Now, I did say Ed and Lorraine Warren were involved, and they did advocate for the truth of this story. They said that they saw some things that definitely proved there was a haunting, but a lot of people were really skeptic at the time and later on. The homeowner in 2009 said that it was a lovely home, it was all a bunch of hogwash, nothing happened, and they just think that family was really good storytellers. And opinions like that can be found all throughout, but it's about half and half, I think, on people who believe that it happened and people that believe it didn't. This is not the only really popular case that has critics. They all do. The Amy DeVille has critics. The Winchester House has critics. Everyone's gonna come in and say that it's not what it is. You know what I mean? But it's up for interpretation. I wasn't there. I've never visited. I have no idea. I'm just relaying the stories back to you and telling you what this horrific movie was based on. If you have not seen this movie, honestly, I don't recommend it. I don't know if it's scary. I don't think I've watched it as an adult. If I did, I've trauma blocked it. But it was pretty bad when I was a kid. And knowing that it's true makes it a little bit worse. But it's up to you. It's actually on Netflix. So you can stream it on Netflix. I think there's a second one. I don't think it has anything to do with that family, though. Why would you title it A Haunting in Connecticut 2 if it's about Georgia? Okay, I'm assuming it's unrelated. And it has a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes. Do with that information what you will. I haven't seen it. But anyways, that is all for today. And I'm going to change up my schedule a little bit. I didn't like the routine I was doing. So I'm going to be posting long-winded videos every Monday through Friday. And you'll still be getting shorts every other day. So just letting y'all know. I will see you guys tomorrow.